Yes, y'all! From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas. It is Texas Football Today, a program with a desk and a chair. My name's Greg Tupper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or you listen to us in the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, the conductor of this here little train that could. She's the Duchess of the Dorks, Miss 305. Say hello to Gizmo, Ashley Pickle.
Hello, Gizmo. See what I did there?
You did it.
I did the thing.
You did the thing. Proud of you. Today is Thursday, June 20th, 2024.
Thursday.
It is. What?
Nah, it didn't work.
No.
It was a shot in the dark.
Listen.
It's trying to bring a little pep in the step.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Correct.
161 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to my brother-in-law, Greg. Oh. And yes, that means my wife married somebody with the same name as her brother.
That is awful.
That is the true thing that happened. Like, imagine marrying a guy named Jake.
No.
Happy birthday to Greg O'Neill, my brother-in-law. And also happy birthday to John Goodman. It's episode 1784. On today's show, folks, big day. Big day. We are going to start revealing some rankings, because we know you like that. The Class 6A Top 10, the Class 5A Division I Top 10, and the Class 5A Division II Top 10 to start the 2024 Texas high school football season, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Expanded rankings, of course, in the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Top 50 rankings.
Wow.
We will give you the top 10. Little taste. First taste is free.
Chips. This is the chips and salsa.
This is the chips and salsa. We'll have that in just a moment. In the back half of the show, we're going to be joined by the head coach of the Richland Royals. Coach Jed Kates is going to be joining us live. Will his team appear in the rankings?
We'll see.
I did book the show, so maybe you can find out along with us as we talk with Jed Kates coming up here at the back half of the program. So we hope you'll stick around with us. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was jersey number 69, nice. Aaron Arbuckle, Joey Hill, and Matt Stepp. Newly, or not newly.
Re-Americanized?
Re-Americanized Matt Stepp. He landed yesterday. He's back in the great state. And then he calls me and he goes, "Hey, Pickle, you know where I'm going tomorrow? The RGV." I was like, dude, you love airplanes.
He just loves airplanes. That's the thing.
You don't actually love Texas high school football. He likes flying.
He's more an aviation guy. You know what I mean? Like, Texas high school football, good. Planes, great.
Matt Stepp,
exactly
fraud.
Yeah, exactly right. Anyway, we appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. Okie dokie, Pickle. So the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football is rolling off of the printer right now.
Let's go.
So much so, I can tell you this. So if you're a subscriber and you haven't received your magazine, don't worry. Neither have we. Literally here at the Dave Campbell's offices, we have not received our shipment yet either. So it is still en route. It's still coming your way. Don't worry about that. In the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a gallimaufry of things in there, various and sundry items for your football amusement. One of the things that people really like about us is that we are the official rankings for Texas high school football. We, of course, have been the rankings provider for the Associated Press for a number of years. We are the Texas high school football rankings of record. Whenever you see that team is number one, that's because we were the ones who put them at number one. And so we also share in the blame whenever we are wrong. So, like, grain of salt. It's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Anyway, in the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, which you can get at texasfootball.com/subscribe, we have rankings for every classification, from 6A all the way down to the six-man private school ranks. And we have expanded rankings. So we have a top 50 in Class 6A, and we have the top 25s in each of the other divisions of the classification. So we have got the most robust rankings out there in the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. And
there's more?
Oh yeah, there's more. I think you guys are going to like the way we designed the rankings this year. That's just a whole thing for me.
Yes. As visual person, yes.
We have redesigned the rankings a little bit to make it so that, in a lot of ways, to bring it back to planes, we built the whole plane out of rankings. And so I think you're really going to enjoy it when you pick up the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. But you know what? Here's the thing, Eric, is that we are of course, an acquired taste. Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I get it. This show, an acquired taste. Me, my voice, acquired taste. Pickle's still working on acquiring it. But what we want to do
I don't think it's going to happen at this
is
point.
we want to give you a little taste, a little sample, a little, something, an appetizer, if you will, the chips and salsa of the Texas high school football rankings. And so here, live, for free, exclusively on Texas Football Today, we're going to be unveiling the top 10s in Class 6A, Class 5A Division 1, and 5A Division 2. Why? A, we hope you'll buy a magazine and subscribe at texasfootball.com/subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. And B, we just like you. We want you to be happy. That's what we want to do. Now, I will tell you we're going to do 6A and 5A. The remainder of the top 10s are going to be rolled out on our social media channels. So follow us on Instagram at Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. On Twitter as well, at DCTF. We're going to be on all our socials is where we're going to be revealing the remainder of the top 10s across the Texas high school football landscape. But Pickle, without further ado, should we start with the big boys?
Let's give the people what they want.
We're going to,
if we're gonna build the plane out of rankings, let's give them rankings.
Let's give them rankings. And so, without further ado, the top 10 in Class 6A to start the 2024 Texas high school football season. At number 10, the Cibolo Steel Knights, with tons of offense coming back. Chad Warner leading that offense, an outstanding offense there at Cibolo Steel. 12 starters back, coming off of a state semifinal run. Cibolo Steel at number 10. Number 9, the Atascocita Eagles are back at number 9. Plenty of experience for this perennial contender. 14 starters back from a regional final appearance for Atascocita. At number 8, Lake Travis, the Lake Travis Cavaliers with quarterback Chasten Ditto. We talked with their head coach, Hank Carter, on Monday. I think they're actually going to have an outstanding defense as well. Lake Travis, always a force to be reckoned with. At number 7, the South Lake Carroll Dragons check in at number 7. They will be young, a lot of replacement to do, but their ceiling is extremely high after another run to a state semifinal last year. Keep an eye on South Lake Carroll at number 7. Number 6, the Humble Summer Creek Bulldogs. After last year's surprising run to a state championship game, they are back for more. After a 14-2 mark, 12 starters back for the Bulldogs. Keep an eye on them at number 6. At number 5, the North Crowley Panthers are the number 5 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football, with playmakers galore all over the place for Coach Ray Gates and company. 13 starters. They start the year at number 5. Number 4, the Austin Westlake Chaparrals are the number 4 team with outstanding trench play. They should be outstanding, makes them a true contender with 12 starters back for their coach, Tony Salazar. At number 3, the Galena Park North Shore Mustangs start the year number 3 at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Bringing back Caleb Bailey, a rare 4-year starter at the 6A ranks, gives him a shot at redemption. He is one of 14 starters back for the state D1 runners-up last year. At number 2, the Duncanville Panthers, the reigning back-to-back 6A Division I state champs. If the defense reloads, they will be right in there for a three-peat with 11 starters back, including quarterback Keelan Russell and outstanding wide receiver DeCorian Moore. And the number 1 team in Class 6A to start the 2024 season, the DeSoto Eagles are our number 1 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. In our opinion, the clear favorite to win a second straight Division II title with 12 starters back. I do think they need to find a quarterback, right? That's a big question, because I think one of the things I've talked about in various spots here is DJ Bailey was so important to what they do. Much more than just like the throws that he made, but the leadership he brought.
Right.
They find a quarterback with guys like Tiger Wright and guys like Boobie Feaster. They are going to be right back in the hunt for a three-peat.
Well, and it's funny because in my opinion, when you have a roster that is that deep, it's almost hard to recognize just how key role one player can make an impact, because you're like, oh yeah, well they've got a plethora of D1 athletes. Of course they're going to be good. And it's like, but you'd be surprised what like the true nuts and bolts of that can end up being.
So there it is, the Class 6A top 10 to start the year. Cibolo Steel, Humble, Atascocita, Lake Travis, South Lake Carroll, Humble Summer Creek, North Crowley, Westlake, North Shore, and at the top 2 spots, Duncanville and DeSoto to start the year Class 6A. But now, Pickle, let's matriculate over to Class 5A, and we will start with the top 10 in Class 5A Division I, a new look 5A Division I. Starting with number 10, the Titans of Port Arthur Memorial started 9 sophomores last year, and they have grown up in a big way. We are very bullish on the Titans. They start the year number 10 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. At number 9, the first of 2 College Station teams, A&M Consolidated has won 48 games in the last 5 years, a 10-4 mark last year with 11 starters back off of that squad. At number 8, the Abilene Eagles are the number 8 team. The class of the big country has plenty of firepower, 7 starters back on what was a big dynamic offense last year from an 11-3 mark. At number 7, it's almost like we booked it. Number 7, the Richland Royals are the number 7 team to start the year in 5A Division I. They ran to the 3rd round last year, may just be the start. 16 starters back. We will talk with head coach Jed Kates coming up here momentarily. At number 6, Frisco Lone Star. With a class with few sure things, Frisco Lone Star, their experience with 15 starters back really does look like it sets them apart. Keep an eye on the Rangers at number 6. Speaking of Rangers, at number 5, the Smithson Valley Rangers, the number 5 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football after a run to the state championship game last year. A couple of pieces to replace, especially on the offensive side, but the Rangers want to get back and get some redemption. At number 4, College Station is the number 4 team in 5A Division I. There is some reloading to do, but they are now a perennial threat. 8 starters back from last year's team that ran to the regional semifinals. Keep an eye on College Station at number 4. At number 3, back to the 5A ranks and back into the top 5, the Highland Park Scots are the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football, dropping back down to 5A. That should produce familiar results. 11-2 mark at the 6A ranks last year. They do have to replace 8 starters, but that's par for the course for Coach Randy Allen and the Scots. At number 2, the Denton Ryan Raiders, the number 2 team. Remember, this is a team that was wildly young last year. They bring back 15 starters from the 2023 ball club. They are going to be really explosive, a ton of playmakers, especially on the defensive secondary. Keep an eye on Denton Ryan, the number 2 team. But at number 1, surprise, surprise, the Aledo Bearcats start the year as number 1 at Dave Campbell's Texas football. They only bring back 7 starters. And again, they have to replace a quarterback, which is not easy to do. However, they have won a title in 11 of the last 15 seasons.
The math do be mathin'.
So Aledo is the number 1 team to start the year in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Your top 10 in 5A Division I. Port Arthur Memorial, A&M Consolidated, Abilene, Richland, Frisco, Lone Star, Smithson Valley, College Station, Highland Park, Denton Ryan, and the number 1 team, Aledo. Remember, complete rankings in the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas football. The top 25 in all classifications and the top 50 in Class 6A. Finally, let's round out today's festivities with a look at the 5A Division II top 10 to start the year in Dave Campbell's Texas football. At number 10, the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes. There's tons of talent here. They've got 16 starters back from last year's team, but they went just 8-3. Can they get over the hump? The talent is certainly there. Can they put it all together? Fort Bend Marshall at number 10. At number 9, Melissa. Melissa, graduate heavy, but having their entire offensive line back is really huge. If they can find some playmakers, they'll be right back in the mix, is Melissa. At number 8, Liberty Hill. The slot T is the devil, and nobody runs it better than them. 9 starters back from last year's ball club. Don't be surprised if they make a deep run there in a new look Region 3. At number 7, the Lions of Richmond Randall start the year at number 7. An exciting young program with plenty of exciting young stars. 12 starters back, including one of the best young running backs in Texas. Keep an eye on Richmond Randall, the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Number 6, Colleyville Heritage. 14 starters back from last year's 12-2 team. They are in Region 1. They look like the most complete team in Region 1. They start the year at number 6. At number 5, the Texas High Tigers. They bring back Tredarian Ball. That's the big headline here, but he is one of 16 starters back for the Tigers. The sky is the limit for this team if they can put it all together, especially on the defensive side. At number 4, the Mules of Alamo Heights are the number 4 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Michael Terry might be 5A's most dynamic playmaker. 10 starters back from last year's run to the regional semifinals. Keep an eye on Alamo Heights starting the year at number 4. At number 3, the Argyle Eagles. Tradition will go a big way for the Eagles. They do have to replace 7 starters on the offensive side, but last year they are a team that you doubt at your own peril. The Eagles of Argyle are number 3. At number 2, the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, who fell short of the title last year, going for a three-peat. They do have some reloading to do, especially on the offensive side, but that is a team that has played in a title game in the last 3 seasons. We expect nothing less from them, as they are one of the perennial powers in 5A Division II. But the number 1 team in 5A Division II to start the year, the Port Neches Groves Indians. There are pieces to replace for PNG, but they've got enough to go back-to-back after last year's run to the 5A Division II state championship. They know the path. They've walked it well. They can do it. The question is going to be about the new look in Region 2 as they swing over different sides of the bracket from Region 3 to Region 2, where they may face a third-round matchup with the number 2 team, South Oak Cliff. But there is your top 10 in 5A Division II to start the year. Fort Bend Marshall, Melissa, Liberty Hill, Richmond Randall, Colleyville Heritage, Texas High, Alamo Heights, Argyle, South Oak Cliff, and the number 1 team in 5A Division II to start the year, the Port Neches Groves Indians. Of course, complete rankings in the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and predictions for every single district in Texas. In the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Make sure you go to texasfootball.com/subscribe to get your hands on a copy. It will be mailed out to subscribers before they hit newsstands. So go to texasfootball.com/subscribe to get it there. You also get to hear Dave Campbell's Texan Live, which is pretty darn good. Go to texasfootball.com/subscribe to get that bad boy mailed to you before it hits newsstands. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on texasfootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Also on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at texasfootball.com. I already gave you the hard sell on texasfootball.com/subscribe, so just go to that website, please. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll be joined by the head coach of the top 10 ranked Richland Royals, Coach Jed Kates. We'll ask him about that and ask if we just put a target on his chest. But first, a word from these goods and services.
I feel like bustin' loose, bustin' loose, come on. Get on up, oh yeah. Get on up. Bustin' loose when you wanna sing, bustin' loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bustin' loose, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's wing.com/TexasFootball.
Back here on Texas Football Today, I'm Greg, that's Ashley, and let's go to the hotline, Pickle. We are pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Richland Royals, Coach Jed Kates, joins us now. Coach, how are you?
I'm great, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How's the offseason treating you?
You know, we just got through with our second week of summer strength conditioning, and it's been a really positive deal so far. I'm proud of it.
I want to ask you about last season, because I think that in a lot of ways that felt like the real breakout moment for you guys, where people started sitting up statewide and saying, man, what's happening there at Richland? Was there a moment last year that you felt like, okay, we might have something special cooking here?
You know, there was. I think it was the monumental part was probably Mansfield Timberview is a great program, and they were the odds-on favorites to win our district. And to be honest with you, Richland High School, there had been one outright district championship since the last one was 1995, and we tied. We were a tri-champ with Grapevine and Colleyville in I think 2016, and so outright by ourselves, that was the last time. That was a while back. So when we were able to beat Timberview after getting down 13-0 in the first quarter, I thought, man, this group is – I thought they had a chance to be really special, and they showed me and everybody else that they really didn't bat an eyelash at that, just kept on playing. And that was kind of the point where I thought, man, we might be able to play a while.
Well, and you guys did play a while, a 12-1 record last year, obviously a breakout year for you guys. I'm interested now, like, you guys have tasted that success, and you've done things that previous Royals teams have not been able to do. Have you felt an attitude shift within the program coming off of that year? Is there a different feel within the program now that you guys have had that kind of success?
I think there is. It's a fun deal that we expect. We certainly don't think you just show up and win, but we absolutely think we have a chance to win every ball game we will be a part of because we've proven it to ourselves. You know, I think the toughest thing to do in sports is turn not a losing program, but a mediocre program into a winner. I think that's a difficult thing to do. We can think of the teams that automatically think they're going to win. There are dozens of them, across the state of Texas. They think they're going to win every time they step off the bus. And we were striving towards that. And because of kind of pushing through like you're talking about, I think we've been able to hopefully become one of those. And we have a bunch of kids coming back that were part of that team. That doesn't guarantee anything, but their work ethic and attitude guarantee that we're going to have a chance. And it really has perpetuated through the offseason.
Talking with Jed Kates, the head coach of the Richland Royals here in Texas football today. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag TFT Today. Coach, I don't want to date you here, but you have been there at Richland for a hot minute. You're entering your 13th season there at the helm. You took over a program in 2012, and you guys went 2-8 that first year. From your perspective, what is the biggest difference between that program that maybe you took over 13 years ago and the program that you walk into every day now?
That's a great question. I think the number one thing is the idea that they trust us coaches. It really has become a place where whatever we ask them to do, these young men do. And that is, it's not every day all the time. They're still teenagers and they still have moments. But almost unequivocally, they go, you know what? These guys have the answers. It may not be the perfect thing for everywhere, but for us, where we are currently, we do what they say. We have a chance to be really good. And then they care about us. And coming in, I told those kids in 2012 that I cared about them, and I showed them that I cared about them, but it wasn't quite that real, true trust and belief yet. And I'll be honest with you, Greg, it took 3 or 4 years before we really turned that corner in that part. And, man, you know what? That old bald guy really is going to do what he says he's going to do. He tells us. So it's been fun, the maturation of that, and now these boys really do believe that when we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it, and it's going to probably come to fruition where we have a chance to be good. And not only that, now those guys are grown men, and they know that I care about them, and some of them come back and see us. And to see these young boys see grown men come back that we coached and see kind of that, it's a lifelong relationship. I think that's the biggest part of what we have now compared to then.
I do want to ask you about your 2024 squad. You guys bring back 16 starters from last year. One of the guys who obviously kind of jumps off the page is your outstanding running back, Michael Turner, the district offensive MVP from a year ago. The numbers are really impressive, and the tape's fun to watch. But as the guy who gets to see Michael Turner every day in practice, what is it about him that really makes him special?
Well, he is a gifted, just genetics were part of it for sure, the big part of it. And but here's the thing about him that is special. He's a pleaser. A lot of running backs, I've had some that are prima donnas. They're me guys. They're the kind of guys that just give me the ball, and I don't care about the guys blocking for me. I don't care about the guy handing it off to me. I just want to be the guy with the ball. It's all about me. And Michael's not that way. He's a good boy. He cares about people. He's a brother. He's a son. He cares about his mother. He cares about his family. And that sets him apart from a whole lot of kids, but it really sets him apart from, like I said, some prima donna running backs, and I've coached some in my career for sure.
I do want to ask you about another guy that's going to be out there on your offense, a guy named your QB1, Jed Kates. Jed Kates there, a guy who threw for 2,600 yards and 32 touchdowns, offer from Arkansas State. Are you familiar with his work?
I do know that kid, yeah. He happens to live in my house, doesn't he?
Okay. Well, I'm interested in how that relationship, especially in the season, works. Where at home it's dad, and then at practice, well, it's dad, but it's also coach.
I'll tell you, Greg, I actually got advice from other great coaches that coached their kids before he came along through the program. And they said, it's funny, it's done a lot of different ways. And some of them cut it off as soon as they get in the car and stop talking football, and other guys do it all the time. We're an all-the-time family. We never stop. I'm always his dad, and quite honestly, I'm always his coach. And I am hardest on him on the whole team. I'm one of those. And the few times that I've decided to keep my mouth shut, he's given me a look like, why aren't you getting on me? Why aren't you coaching me? So that's kind of how it's been great. I of course wondered how it would go, but it's been great. And it's partly he's a good young man, and he works hard and he cares about the team and does all the things that you hope that all these coaches' kids do. It's not always easy being the coach's kid, and he's done a good job. And would you believe he's the oldest of 3 sons? So I'm going to be doing that part for a while.
That seems to run in the family. I do want to ask you about that here in a moment. Let's talk with Jed Kates, the head coach of the Richland Royals. Coach, we just got done unveiling the top 10 in our 5A Division I rankings. The good news is that we have you guys ranked 7th in the state to start the year in 5A Division I. Also, number 1 is District 3 5A Division I's Aledo, and number 2 is District 3 5A Division I's Denton Ryan. Realignment did a number for you guys. When you take a look at your district, District 3 5A Division I, how do you look at it?
Those people, we're talking about perennial, unbelievable people. I'm excited that we are even mentioned with them, and I'm proud of what we've done to this point, but it doesn't mean anything coming into this season. To be honest with you, Greg, at first, of course, we all want to go 10-0 in the regular season. That's all fun and that's all wonderful. But once I got over the shock factor of them being in our district and stuff like that, it is an excitement, and you do want to embrace challenges. We do hope we're in the part of our program where we want to play with Aledo and Ryan. We want to compete with those guys. And to be honest with you, the way playoff implications can work out, you'd rather them be in your district than in my district. You'd rather compete right now and find out what you're made of, and then hopefully get in the playoffs, and maybe they knock each other off somewhere down the line and we got to play only one of them to get to move on, further down the line. And that's kind of how we see it. I think we're as equipped as we've ever been to compete with those 2 unbelievable, great programs, great coaches, great kids, great everything. But we hope we're to the point where we can compete with those guys and see what we're made of, and see if we really are ready to knock down the door.
And finally, Jed Kates of the Richland Royals joining us here. I do have to ask you, we talked about your son as your quarterback. Your grandfather, of course, Joe Kerbel, won 2 titles as the head coach at Breckenridge in the late 1950s. You have 2 younger brothers in Will Kates, who is a coach and now is going to be the offensive coordinator at Eagle Mountain. You have another younger brother in Matt Kates, who is a coach at LaGrange and now is the defensive coordinator there at Abilene Wiley. My question for you is, what is Thanksgiving dinner like? And especially, particularly, what is it like watching the Cowboy game with all y'all gathered in the same room? I have to imagine everyone's got some opinions.
It is, Greg, I think if somebody were to just walk into our house on Thanksgiving, I think it would be a laugh riot. Because everybody else, not everybody, a lot of people watch football, they watch the football, right? They watch where the football goes. We see, as coaches, we see things and we pause it. We will oftentimes be 45 minutes behind the live action because we're arguing about something that happened in the B gap, 14 plays earlier, and I saw it one way, he saw it the other. Matt grew up as a defensive coach in the profession. Will and I happen to be more on the offensive side of the ball. We're talking about, why did you see this? What is this coverage? What are they even playing? It is all-encompassing all the time, and no matter how quickly we say our hellos and give each other a hug and check on everybody, it turns to football really, really quickly. And sometimes there's furniture moved, and we're in 3-point stance. You're talking about how to get off a down block. You know what I mean? So
He's Jed Kates.
It really is fun.
He's Jed Kates. He's fighting over the coach's clicker at Thanksgiving dinner.
That's right.
And maybe running the Oklahoma drill. He's the head coach of the Richland Royals. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congrats again on a fantastic 2023, and looking forward to seeing your boys in the fall.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate everything you guys do for Texas high school football. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Coach. There he goes. Jed Kates, head coach of the Richland Royals, joining us here at Texas football today. And yeah, they were the first family to ever have 3 brothers coaching at the same time. When Will was at Merkel and Matt was at LaGrange and Jed was at Richland at the same time. So yeah.
Their poor mother.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's super cool. And Richland, again, last year, kind of first outright district championship. I had this pulled up. That was their first outright district championship in quite a while. Whenever they brought it home last year, first outright district title since 1995. So it had been a minute, but they had a big breakout last year, and with 16 starters coming back, brutal district. You have the number 1 team Aledo and the number 2 team Denton Ryan in your own backyard. But you're gonna have to beat them anyway to get where you want to go. They'll get a chance to maybe play them twice because Richland's on the come up and a team to keep an eye on. We appreciate Coach Jed Kates hopping on with us. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Sunday. TexanLive.com. We'll be doing the exclusive reveal of the State 7-on-7 pool announcements. So analysis brought to you by Greg Tepper and Matt Stepp. And then we'll have Mallory Hartley, Ishmael Johnson, Carter Yates, and Greg Powers also hopping on to help reveal the pools for the State 7-on-7 tournament. So incredibly excited about that. You do have to watch exclusively on TexanLive.com.
Yes.
It is a free broadcast.
Free. Yeah.
But it goes to TexanLive.com.
TexanLive.com. We'll be spamming out the link all over our socials coming up here. But that is 5 o'clock Sunday, right here in this very studio on TexanLive.com. It is free, but the exclusive reveal of these State 7-on-7 pools. I tweeted this last night that Matt Stepp gets blown up all the time this time of year. It's like, hey, when are the pools coming out? When are the pools coming out?
Yeah.
5 o'clock Sunday, TexanLive.com is where you can see the exclusive pool reveal. We will have instant analysis from myself and Matt Stepp and our crew here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football of the State 7-on-7 tournament. And then we'll, of course, have complete coverage of the 2024 State 7-on-7 tournament live from College Station. Big things planned. We will help reveal those on Monday, which is the next time we're doing one of these broadcasts. So that is going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Jed Kates, the head coach of the Richland Royals, for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Sunday for the State 7-on-7 pool reveal, and we will see you Monday on Texas Football Today.